Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of PC gaming to bring you the top 10 best shooter games in history. We're talking about the games that made you rage quit, the games that made you scream one more game at 3 a.m., the games that defined a generation of gamers. From the classics that started it all to the modern masterpieces that continue to blow us away, we're gonna reminisce about the good old days, the epic moments, and the unforgettable experiences that these games gave us. Get ready for some serious nostalgia, some heated debates, because let's be real, everyone has their favorites, and maybe even some broken controllers along the way. Let's get started. First up, we gotta give it up for the granddaddy of them all, the one that started this whole FPS madness, Doom. Back in the day, this game was revolutionary. I mean, we're talking pixelated demons, ridiculously oversized guns, and enough blood and gore to make a horror movie director blush. Doom was all about pure adrenaline-pumping action. You were thrown into this claustrophobic, hellish world, armed to the teeth, and told to rip and tear until it was done. No hand-holding, no complicated storylines, just pure, unadulterated fun. Doom sparked controversies, fueled countless LAN parties, and basically paved the way for every single shooter that came after it. It's a true icon, a reminder of a simpler time when all you needed was a shotgun and a bad attitude to have a good time. Next up, we're jumping into the world of Half-Life 2, a game that took everything Doom did and cranked it up to 11. Seriously, this game was groundbreaking. Remember that physics engine? Picking up objects with that gravity gun, stacking them into weird towers, and then launching them at unsuspecting enemies? Pure genius. The story unfolded organically through the gameplay, the environments, and the characters you encountered. And speaking of characters, let's not forget about Alex Vance, one of the most badass and well-written female characters in gaming history. Half-Life 2 proved that shooters could be more than just mindless action fests. Valve, if you're listening, we need Half-Life 3, but in all seriousness, Half-Life 2 is a masterpiece, a testament to what can be achieved when talented developers push the boundaries of what games can be. Alright, let's talk about a game that needs no introduction, a game that's basically become a religion for some people, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO as the cool kids call it. This game is the definition of easy to learn, hard to master. You've got your terrorists, your counter-terrorists, a handful of guns, and one objective: eliminate the enemy team. But don't let that simplicity fool you. CSGO is a game of strategy, precision, and teamwork. One wrong move, one missed shot, can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Every round is a tense, nail-biting battle of wits, and that feeling of clutching around for your team is just. CSGO has one of the most competitive and passionate communities in all of gaming, with tournaments offering millions of dollars in prize money. We're talking about legendary teams, insane plays, and enough hype to power a small city. Just be prepared to invest some serious hours if you want to get good. Trust me, it's a deep, deep rabbit hole. Next up, we're heading into the modern era of shooters with Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. This game changed everything. It took the classic World War II setting and flipped it on its head, throwing us into the gritty, intense world of modern warfare. Suddenly, we weren't fighting Nazis anymore. We were battling terrorists, engaging in stealth missions, and witnessing the horrors of war firsthand. And that campaign was a wild ride from start to finish. Remember that all-gillied-up mission? Pure tension. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare introduced us to kill streaks, perks, and a whole new level of customization that kept us coming back for more. Sure, it might have spawned a million sequels, some better than others, but the original Modern Warfare will always hold a special place in our hearts. It was the game that redefined the FPS genre, paving the way for a new generation of military shooters. Plus, let's be real, that no Russian mission, still controversial to this day. It was the game that redefined the FPS genre, paving the way for a new generation of military shooters. Alright, let's talk about a game that took the war is hell concept to a whole new level. Battlefield 3. This game was all about epic, large-scale battles with destructible environments that made you feel like you were actually in a war zone. Remember the first time you saw a building crumble after a tank shell hit it? Or the feeling of flanking an enemy squad with a jet fighter screaming overhead? Battlefield 3 was a sensory overload in the best possible way. Battlefield 3 was at its best when you were coordinating with your squad, laying down suppressing fire, reviving fallen comrades, and working together to achieve a common goal. Sure, it might not have had the most memorable campaign, but Battlefield 3's multiplayer was where it truly shined. It was a game that captured the scale and intensity of war like no other, and it left us with countless stories of epic battles and unforgettable moments. Now it's time to switch gears and talk about a game that's all about fun, personality, and hats: Team Fortress 2. This game is like the wacky, over-the-top cousin of the shooter genre, and we wouldn't have it any other way. With its unique cast of characters, each with their own distinct personalities and playstyles, Team Fortress 2 was a breath of fresh air in a genre that often took itself too seriously. Who needs realism when you can have a pyromaniac with a flamethrower, a heavy weapons guy with a minigun, and a medic who heals people with a giant syringe gun? Team Fortress 2 was one of the first games to really embrace cosmetic items, and it quickly became a fashion show of epic proportions. But beyond the silliness, Team Fortress 2 was also an incredibly well-designed game with a surprising amount of depth. The team-based gameplay encouraged cooperation and communication, making for some truly hilarious and memorable moments. Alright, let's talk about a game that took the hero shooter genre by storm: Overwatch. This game burst onto the scene with its vibrant art style, diverse cast of characters, and fast-paced, team-based gameplay, and it quickly became a global phenomenon. Overwatch was all about choosing your hero, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles, and working together with your team to complete objectives. Whether you preferred to tank damage as Reinhardt, snipe enemies from afar as Widowmaker, or heal your allies as Mercy, there was a hero for everyone. Sure, the game might have had its fair share of balancing issues and toxic players. Let's be real, every online game does. But Overwatch was a game that brought people together. It was a game that celebrated diversity, teamwork, and the power of playing for something bigger than yourself. Now it's time to crank up the speed and talk about a game that's all about pure adrenaline-pumping action: Quake 3 Arena. This game was a masterclass in fast-paced, arena-style shooting, and it set the standard for competitive shooters for years to come. Quake 3 Arena was all about movement, map knowledge, and lightning-fast reflexes. You had to master the art of rocket jumping, circle strafing, and predicting your opponent's movements if you wanted to survive. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and you were toast. Quake 3 Arena was a pure test of skill, a game where the best players in the world could outmaneuver and outgun their opponents with surgical precision. It was a ballet of bullets and rockets, a symphony of destruction that left you breathless. Quake 3 Arena was one of the first games to really embrace competitive gaming, with tournaments held all over the world. Alright, let's slow things down a bit and talk about a game that requires a more tactical approach: Rainbow Six Siege. This game is not for the faint of heart. It's a game that demands patience, communication, and a deep understanding of its mechanics. In Rainbow Six Siege, you're not just running and gunning. You're carefully planning your attacks, reinforcing walls, setting traps, and using drones to scout ahead. Every move counts, and one wrong step can mean the difference between life and death. Rainbow Six Siege is a game that's constantly evolving, and it shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Finally, let's wrap things up with a game that blends elements of FPS and MMOs to create something truly unique: Destiny 2. This game is all about exploring a vast, ever-evolving world, collecting loot, and battling enemies both alien and human. Destiny 2 is a game that's best experienced with friends. You can team up to tackle challenging raids, battle other players in competitive multiplayer, or simply explore the solar system at your own pace. The possibilities are endless, and there's always something new to discover. Sure, it might have its fair share of grinding and microtransactions. It is a free-to-play game, after all. But Destiny 2 is a game that's constantly evolving. Bungie is constantly adding new content, expanding the world, and refining the gameplay experience. That's it for our list of the top 10 best shooter games in PC history. From the classics that started it all to the modern masterpieces that continue to blow us away, these games have left an undeniable mark on the gaming world. But now it's your turn. Did your favorite shooter make the cut? What are some of your favorite shooter memories? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep the discussion going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome content. See you next time. Next.